Hello everyone, there is so much new makeup already coming out for 2023, which has me so excited. So I thought we could try it all on, some of the stuff I picked up. I have the new Makeup by Mario foundation. As soon as I saw this like sneak and launch, I was like, that's gonna be mine. I am going to be on a foundation journey this year. And I thought it was appropriate to start the year off with freaking a new foundation. So we're gonna be putting that on. It's not a first impression. I've been wearing it the last couple days. So I think it's like my 4th or 5th time I'm putting it on today. I have a few different eyeshadow palettes. This one's the Linda Hallberg, the new one. It's like the Metals Basic Elements quad. Oh, look at that. I did get sent the new Vintage Love palette from Shine by SD, so I might play with some of those colors. I've done a couple looks with them already. Jumping back to Linda Hallberg, I did end up picking up one of the blush duos. I don't know if this one's called Area, but the colors are Scope and Link, I believe, so I have that. Lots of highlighters. I got the new Rare Beauty ones. Oh, finally, they came back. I was gonna buy these when they came out, but they freaking sold out so fast, and to be honest, I was not sure they were gonna be good, but damn, they're pretty good. And I do have the new Natasha Denona from the Pastel. So let's just get started. I know it's a lot of like an intro kind of. I'm starting with a primer. I'm gonna use the Valentino one. I've tried this foundation with a couple different primers so far, and this one is my favorite. In general, this primer just does such a good job of giving me like a glow. Like I love the way my skin looks with just this on, but I do find that it controls my oils throughout the day as well, which I can't complain. I can't complain. I freaking love it. I actually ordered it from Selfridges because it was on sale there. So I'm gonna cancel my still backed up order. If you're following the freaking saga, that's still out of stock on Sephora, still partially shipped. So I need to call them and be like, yeah, just take it off. Okay, so that's just primer. Now I'm gonna go in with the foundation. I feel like my favorite way so far with this foundation is doing a pump of it with a sponge. I've done it with a brush and it looks pretty good that way as well. I do get better coverage that way. The first time I used this, I used it with the sponge, but I did 2 pumps. Like I felt like I needed that, but I feel like now I'm okay. I'm okay with just the one. Something that's interesting about this, it's like a gelatinous seems wrong. It's like a whipped gelatinous texture to me. I know that sounds weird. I know you're probably like, what are you talking about? But there's something kind of whipped and creamy about this foundation. I don't know why I'm doing it this way. What I usually will do is take my sponge and I really dab it all on like that, really get it evenly coated and then go in. We'll see what I actually do if I put more on. But yesterday when I wore it, I just did the one pump and I liked the way it looked. This foundation does have sparkles in it. It reminds me, I think there's a Revlon one that also, I don't know if it was whipped as well, but there was a Revlon foundation that also had sparkles in it. I noticed when I put this on the first time on the back of my hand, because I always squirt my stuff onto the back of my hand, I was like, whoa, that's some sparkle left behind. So I was a little worried, but I haven't noticed at all with wearing it that I never see sparkles. Like I never actually see a sparkle on my face in any way that feels like I'm wearing a sparkly foundation, in any way that I feel like the alarm bells would ring, you know? But like I said, I do like the sponge. I think because this is kind of a whipped foundation, on my brush, it just gunks my brush up pretty fast, and I just feel like it just can look not heavy because it really does look pretty skin-like, but it kind of applies it heavier. So I don't really love that. I am gonna go in with another pump though. I don't know why one pump worked yesterday, but it's not working today. I need more. I have the shade 2N. I just ordered it online. I felt like it was gonna be the best. It looked neutral and I am pretty happy with the color. It might be a little light going into summer, but for right now, it definitely works. I would say one of the biggest things that kind of threw me off from this foundation is that I do feel like my face looks textured, not in a dry way. I don't know how to explain it. Like it looks hydrated, but it looks just not super smooth. Like as a surface, it looks dimpled, almost like you put a foundation on an orange, which I have pores, I'm an oily girl, but once I powder that kind of goes away. But I do find even as like the rest of the day goes through, that's just something I kind of notice, and I don't know if that's the shimmer or whatnot, but I don't dislike it. I don't dislike it, you know? I feel like I like it enough. One of the things I really like is that throughout the day, even toward the end of the day, where usually, to be honest, I have a lot of different dry patches that have formed. I am not super delicate with my makeup. I will itch it, I will scratch it, I will, I mean, I try my best, but you know, I gotta live my life. A girl's gotta live. So I really like how in like my nose corners and just different areas where they tend to get really dry, and I feel like you can see the foundation kind of caked up. I don't feel like I have the problem with this. I also find that this almost feels a little cloud-like and whipped on my skin as I wear it. It almost feels kind of moisturizing, almost like I put on a gel cream, and I feel that moisture kind of throughout the day. It almost feels like it's not quite set, to be honest, which is kind of weird and kind of threw me off, but I do feel like it lasts. It's not like it's super movable necessarily. I do feel like throughout the day it works for me, but that's something. And then also smell. It does smell. Today I probably noticed it the least, but I'm also wearing a perfume, so maybe that's why. So if you wanted concrete conclusions today on that foundation, it's not happening. I do think you should check it out. If it sounds interesting to you, get a sample from Sephora because you might really like it. There are some really great positive things to it. I get like a medium coverage, but you can see, actually, let me zoom you in. So here is the foundation on my skin, and like you can see here, it looks good. There's no dry patches. It doesn't look super makeup-y on these areas, which I feel like usually is what happens with texture. Instead, it just looks textured. You know, it just looks like smoothed texture. And again, I don't necessarily like love that. Like I would obviously opt out of that. So I don't know if that's the sparkle in the foundation or what's going on, but that is something I've noticed. Not a deal breaker though. It wears nicely. It feels good. Okay. It's time to put the hair back. Oh my, did nothing. I normally don't wear my hair down, but I feel like with the pink, it looks really good to really show it off as opposed to just in a bun or in a clip. Because if not, like, I feel like it just looks not pink. It just looks brown on the sides. Those are all my thoughts on the foundation so far. I feel like it goes over my nose pretty nicely. Again, I'm not getting like it picking up or balling up or being just weird on my nose, but I do feel like, again, texturally, it's not a very smooth look in the way I would want either. I've been setting it with the Kosas powder, and I do like that look, so I'm just gonna do a little bit of that on my cheeks and really the center of my face. And that definitely helps to kind of like make it look smoother, but yeah, it's still just like a thing. I don't think it's gonna give you a more perfected look when it comes to texture if that's what you're looking for. Okay, another thing I'll say about the foundation before we move on to just bronzer, or maybe while I'm bronzing, I did the kind of like mirror check in the car. I was like, oh, I wonder what this looks like under the mirror, and it looked amazing. Like color wise, texture wise, like my skin looked really good. You know how sometimes when you do that, it's like the scariest moment of your life. You're like, holy shit, I've been walking around all day like this. Like, I hope my friends aren't judging me. I hope my coworkers aren't judging me. Like, gosh, what happened? You know, it looked so different. I didn't have that moment. I had a good moment, an actually positive experience in that mirror. And I feel like that's a test for sure. So I like that this like real world wise looks really good on the skin. And I'm just using my Laguna bronzer. That's it. I'm not really doing too much contouring. I'm keeping it very chill today. And I can, you know, blend on top of it with my bronzers and stuff without issue. I just don't think that it doesn't feel weightless on my skin. That's the thing I guess I'm trying to say. All right, there we are. Let's move on to some blush. I'm gonna use that Linda Hallberg. I'm a little nervous. It's pretty cool toned. I'm like, I want you to look good. I'm going into the darker one first and just kind of gently, very gently, light pressure, adding that to my cheekbones. I feel like based off this color, I'm interested to see how the other colors will look because this is different than what I expected. I'll give you guys swatches. So there they are. I mean, it's not super pigmented in that you can kind of build them up, so that's kind of nice. But I will say this color, I don't know, it just looked different, I felt like, than what I expected when I got it. I'm just adding this. It does look nice. I really just didn't want it to look too bruised, I guess, since it's a more of like a purpley pink. For highlighter, I have like too many options, honestly. So I made a short just swatching the Natasha Denona highlighter. And to be honest, like, it's fine, as in formula is fine, but it isn't like pastel. This isn't, you know, it's not duochrome really changing. Even where the pink is and the green is, it's really the same color, and it just turns to kind of a a golden-y shade. It's pretty. I wanted it to be not golden. I don't want a gold flash highlighter like this. It reminds me of a less intense version. I think of Solar Flare maybe from Kaleidos, the gold one from them that like flashes from a white powder to gold. It feels like a more subtle version of that. So not my favorite type of color, but the formula is promising. So there's that, but it's expensive. This is $42. Ooh, that whole collection, like, let's get rid that little 5-band eyeshadow was so hideous. Oh my gosh. I was like, I already hate the Jubilee palette. This is the Jubilee's ugly cousin. Yikes. I do have the Rare Beauty one, so we're gonna use those today. I think that's what I actually want to use on my face. I've used these a couple of times each, and I also did get the highlighter brush, which I can't bring anything with me today where I'm gonna be using it. All right, I got these two shades. So I got Mesmerize, which is more the pink one, and I also got Enlighten, which is the lightest shade. Man, these sold out. And then at Sephora, they would take the testers away because they didn't have the product. I'm like, I just want to test it. I asked someone to like go into a drawer and find the testers because I'm like, I'll order it online once it comes back. I just want to see them in person. Like, I just want to swatch them. They are very shiny. So that's the lighter one. That's like the pink one. And you can see here, the flash on it is really nice and light, but then it does have that base. So I'm going to be using the white one on my cheeks more so. I think the pink one can work, but I definitely don't like doing it too intense. This is the highlighter brush that came out with it. It really just looks like a fluffy blending brush, but elongated. Like, it's just a long trumpet version. And this is like by no means a need, but I was like, you know, I'm willing to try the little brush. So I got it. Maybe I'll do one on each side just for you guys to see. I really like, again, this formula. I do think that this has some really nice shine to it. I don't love the color selection in some ways. That's like the only thing. I also really like this on my nose. But I am happy this white doesn't pull too gold. It is a little white. Like, I just want that beige, you know? And I was hoping I'd get that with the pink, but I'll show you on this side. I do like to be a little careful with it because I feel like I can get a little bit of a darker cast where it's at. You can see a little here. As for texture, I do think that these are gonna pull up on texture a little, but also just that foundation doesn't do me a ton of favors for texture. So thought I would show you up close. I do like these, and I also love the price, $25 for these. Really, really nice. I think that they're raising their prices though, so I don't know what they're gonna go up to, but I'm excited for all these highlighter releases, you guys. I'm gonna leave the highlighter there for now. I probably should match them, I guess. Let me do some little magic work right now. It's like, I like the shine of the pink one. I wish the base just wasn't quite as intense because the other one's just a little icy for me. I'm gonna do my brows and then we'll get into the eye makeup. All right, just a light brow look today. I'm priming with my Sigma eye base in Persuade. I kind of want to do like a pink look. I have a few pinks to pull from. Devotion in here. This one looks pink, but it's green to me. I might do Devotion, but it has that green flip. All of these are like duochromatic and really fun. Okay, I think I'm gonna use the blush. These can be used for the eyes, lips, face, and I'm gonna actually use this on my eyes. I'm gonna take that darker color and use that kind of as my transition. Oh, wow. I really love this almost on the eyes more. Like, I really love how easy this is to blend out. The way that the shimmer is, it's really subtle. So it just looks really beautiful and, like, again, easy to blend. Very effortless. Okay, love that. I think I'm gonna take this orange shade. I keep going back and forth. I'm gonna take Devotion. And I'm gonna put that basically all over my lids. Yeah, that's really pretty. It blends into that color so perfect. And then I'm gonna take the darker shade in here. I'm gonna use that in the outer corner. I'm just gonna tap with my finger. I feel like I can control it better. And I really am just trying to deepen up. You can see the difference here with this one and this one. I'm just tapping this for the tiniest bit of depth, but it's still sparkly. It's very subtle, kind of like a wash. When I saw that Linda Hallberg was creating another quad, I was so excited, and I like these colors. The formula is really beautiful, but I do prefer the first one, the Shimmer Saga, over this, if you wanted to know. These have like some beautiful sparkle. I'll try to give you some swatches. Here they kind of are. Oh my gosh, what a mess. They do have some nice sparkle, but they're not like as, I feel like, special as the Shimmer Saga. All right, I'm gonna finish up with some liner. I'm gonna use, I guess, this bronze one. It's what's in front of me. This feels like such a mismatched look today. I'm gonna add some mascara. I like this look, actually. I was kind of getting scared because it's a little bit messy, but it's all shimmer and just kind of grungy and imperfect. And I actually really quite like it. It's like a soft grunge. For lips, I'm gonna use this Victoria Beckham liner. This is in 02. I have been testing the stuff I got for Black Friday. I know I have not done a Black Friday haul. I'm probably gonna be doing like a haul and update all in one. And then for on my lips, I'm using this mini of the NARS. This is one of those like balms. They have a set at Sephora that's like newer, and it had this and Black Honey and a couple other things I've been wanting to try, so I picked it up. Thought I would put that on. Not sure it 100% matches everything else. It's a little warm, but I'm gonna zoom us out and see what we have going on. I'm gonna add a little bit more blush. I'm gonna work it into my eye a little bit since we have it back there. And I feel like I'm going for more of like a grungy, almost like rock star look. That's what I'm picturing anyway. I also forgot to put on some highlighter on my brow bone, so I'm gonna use the Enlighten color from Rare Beauty. Okay, maybe a little too harsh. I'm gonna zoom you in so you can see the final eye look. So this is what the eyes look like. That highlighter on the brow bone, it's a little much, but otherwise looks pretty good. You can also see the foundation. Okay, let's zoom out and talk about this stuff. All right, to be upfront, I just don't feel like anything so far is a must-have. Nothing is just like melting my heart in a way. That doesn't mean anything's bad, and that doesn't mean I might not grow to love it, but off the bat, or for how many times I've tested stuff, I don't have anything amazing yet. You know, it's like I don't have that feeling when I tried that Valentino primer for the first time, you know? So for the Makeup by Mario, I definitely think try it out. If you're interested in this, it might be something you like. I wouldn't be too scared by the shimmer particles in it because I don't notice it looking like too sparkly, especially even outside, but it is a strange, to me, the consistency, I don't know how to explain it. It feels almost like a barrier, a moisture pillowy barrier on my skin, and that's when I say like a gelatinous whipped formula. There's something about it. It has like its own kind of plushness, wiggliness while being a cream. Okay, anyway, I'm still definitely getting my thoughts on it. I don't hate it, but I don't feel like my skin is the best when I have it on. It doesn't look horrible, but I'm not like in love immediately. Okay, we'll do blush next. This is an interesting colored blush, and I do like how my blush looks right now, so I have some hope for it. I also really do like this on my eyes, so I think that kind of monochromatic blush draping into the eyes, into the cheeks, like that type of look is what I'll probably really use this for, and for that, I think it's really pretty. In terms of how versatile it is, it's not like I'm gonna be doing that every time, like every day. You know, I'm more of like a warm or brown blush girl. So I'll have to keep using it and let you know like my favorite ways to wear it. It's definitely pretty cool tone though. I mean, it still worked, but definitely a little different than the pictures. The highlighters, I really do like the Rare Beauty highlighters. I think that these are gonna be one of the standout highlighters for, I mean, they came out the end of 2022, but for 2023, they're very high shine, nice thin formula. I do think that the bases on them can be a little bit dark. So if you don't want that or you don't think it's gonna work for your skin tone, definitely go with that lighter shade. And I feel like there is some versatility in how much shine you get with them, so definitely some promising highlighters. I just want to work with them a little bit more, and more than anything, I think it's the color selection that personally just doesn't work all the way for me. Like this rose one, I want it to work better because I love the shine, but that base is just a little bit darker. I feel like maybe for summer it'll be better for me. Or even over just a more intense blush look, that will be better too. I'll try that out. The Natasha Denona highlighter, honestly, unless what I said about it being gold is something you're into, I think you can skip on this one. It's pretty expensive. I don't think it's gonna stay around, but I do hope that she comes out with some different colors in this formula because I do like the formula. It's just that like kind of yellow gold that for me personally isn't my favorite. I've only worn this one once and I didn't like love it. You know, I wasn't in love. And then as for the eyeshadows, I feel like they're both really pretty. This is a really pretty quad if these colors call to you. It is kind of expensive, but I really like the Linda Hallberg little quad. So I'm not mad at it, but I don't think it's anything like at this point you gotta go get. And kind of similar with the Vintage Love, there are some pretty colors in here. I just love the Shine singles and I feel like there's a lot of shimmers in here, but it's not super cohesive to me anyway. I think Historic is probably my favorite shade, this one here. And I do enjoy seeing something a little bit more neutral coming out from her because I feel like everything is usually more colorful and duochrome, but a lot of the colors that are in here, like the duochromes, even what's on my eyes, it's a little bit more subtle, which is nice. I like that. But if you're looking for the most sparkly, I don't feel like that's what mostly is in this palette. So I think is everything. My goodness. I'm excited to catch up. I think we'll do a new beauty launches really soon because I know there's some new blushes from Kosas that are coming out. I'm really excited for those. And I don't know, I feel like there's been a decent amount of stuff that's like at least has some potential, has some promise, has me excited to try. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you tried these highlighters, this foundation? What are your thoughts? What's your experience? Let us know down below. I would love to hear how you guys are getting on with some of these if you've picked them up. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.